What's up, historians, ranters, and fellow Magic dorks? Last week, Dominaria United dropped, and we had a lot to say about this new set. So, now that some time has passed and most of the dust has settled, let's take a look at the fallout from this set and the impact it's had on the different metagames. Also, we had a lot of thoughts about Dominaria on our last podcast, so how did our predictions about this set actually pan out? And what can we learn from our evaluations? Coming up now on this, are we 100% full of crap, or do we actually know a thing or two? Episode of Mana Rant. But first, I'm Hoshi, Dominaria United's underlying cause of being unbalanced and unsettling, as well as being your uplifting and possibly unhinged host. And you are listening to episode 93 of the Mana Rant podcast, where, as always, I am joined by a man who smells like he has Phyrexian oil leaking out of his backside, a man whose foul stench literally made me throw up on a road trip. It's Drunken Dork.
What is up, everyone? How come every time you write my intro, it always has to do with like stench or shitting my pants or something to do with smells or just pure disgust? I don't get it. I don't understand. Doesn't make sense.
You made me throw up.
That's true. I did. Yeah. Good stuff.
And finally, that brings us to Mana Rant's Boomer. Truly, our next host is a bitter old man. However, his advanced age has not stopped him from trying to regain his lost youth. Through his Tolarian studies of the younger generation, he has achieved the title of Michael Apollo, Mana Rant's Gen Z translator. Welcome, Michael.
What's up, everyone? Dude, I like that. Yeah, I'm definitely a fucking sheep in fucking wolf's clothing, or however the fucking saying goes. Yeah, man, Gen Z, it's a funny thing. I'm like studying them. I'm like the crocodile hunter, you know. I'm trying to like study their lingo because they don't speak English at all. But yeah,
I'm like, what does dead ass mean, Mike? Mike, I don't know. Paul,
dead ass, on God, dead ass.
that's when he like puts on his bifocals and he's like, oh, let's look into my to my studies that I have right here.
They say ass is dead on God a lot. Why?
Exactly. That's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Anyways, welcome back to the show, and thank you for joining us. We are the Mana Ranters, and I know we've gotten a bunch of new listeners recently, so that's awesome. Welcome to our community of ranters and ragers that we have. We're just three guys who have been friends for over 20 years now and been playing Magic basically our whole lives too. So just in case you don't know who we actually are, and this is a Mana Rant podcast where we talk about everything in Magic the Gathering, but we mainly focus on Arena. Our show segments move through the phases of Magic, with our main phases being the main show topics. But we have a bunch of fun stuff with each of the phases. So, but if that's not your thing, you just want to, see a couple things, we will have a full breakdown of the episode in the description below if you want to hop around. And yeah, now that's all out of the way. Let's just jump into the show with our first phase, which is the Untap phase.
Untap.
And Untap is a quick phase where we just talk about what we're drinking tonight. So, Paulo, what are you untapping?
I'm going to be untapping this brewery. I've had it quite a few times on the show. Devil's Backbone. It's a local brewery out here. I like them because they always have these like cool deers.
Oh yeah,
they're usually like some like hipster deers. This one's like a sorcerer, like a wizard or something.
That's pretty cool looking.
Yeah, and it goes, beware the hazy IPA. So
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Excited to drink it.
The marketing. You're a sucker for some nerdy marketing, huh?
Dude, they got me, man.
I am too.
So am I. Yeah. Totally.
Drunken, what are you untapping?
Well, I got work again tonight, so I am taking it easy with my partake pale, which is the non-alcoholic beer. Yeah, very exciting over here.
I mean, you're still drinking a beer. It's just a non-alcoholic beer. So okay, kudos. I was gonna give you more guff, but that's pretty good. And me, we've switched again, Apollo, because I think last week you were drinking the gasoline. So one of us has got to get tanked, I guess. So now I'm back on the old fashions, and since I'm a basic white bitch, this is a pumpkin spice old fashioned that I'm drinking. Yeah, I know. La da da. Right.
Dude, you are throwing summer out the door. You're like pumpkin spice, hell yeah.
Yeah, even though it's like 1,000 degrees here right now. Yeah, it's so damn hot. Awesome. Well, cheers, guys. Let's have a good show.
Cheers.
Nice. And with that, we'll move into our upkeep. Upkeep, get ya upkeep. And upkeep is our Reddit rant, which is now hosted by Michael Apollo. So take it away.
What is up, everyone? Yes, so the upkeep is the Reddit rant. That is where I scour the internet for the troubled, the confused, the angry ranters out there on the internet, which isn't too hard to find because, when you have Magic, a game of frustration, and the internet is like the best marriage that will never get divorced. So, this comes from our MTG subreddit. This is from Prince Equalizer, and he goes, apparently, I end my turn isn't a declaration of end phase. Played a game tonight in which a player tried to state, you are instant didn't actually happen during my end step. It was still my main phase, so I can play another permanent creature. For detail, the player stated, I'm ending my turn. Now, any reasonable person would think, oh, right, so he's at end step, he'll pass priority, and then I'll play something. Oh, how wrong you would be. This man, for literally 10 minutes, swore up and down that, in fact, he was still in his main phase too, and that he could, in fact, play a card in response. We tried in multiple ways to explain that priority must be passed in every phase, with the exception of Untap, obviously, and he admitted that he, in fact, had nothing to play in his end phase, and thus priority would pass. In the end, we all quit. Please, all I ask, don't be that guy. We play with cardboard to have fun, not to shoehorn in whatever is convenient for ourselves in the moment. So the enemy is the guy here that he just wants to be right about how end steps and priority passing goes and works. There's so many fucking arguments, whether it's Commander, online, paper Magic, drunken. What do you think about this this Reddit post?
I don't even it sounds like everyone was fucking stubborn in this situation, right? Like,
yeah,
who cares? Like, all right, you understand what this guy's trying to do. Don't get like caught up on the fucking like the definition of like how this game works in the end step, right? As long as you're having fun, like this is one of the most frustrating things about playing Magic is it's filled with fucking nerds, including myself, but like grumpy ass ones, right? That want to get caught up on the vernacular and shit of stuff. So, you know what? What's this guy's name? Prince Equalizer. Chill the fuck out.
Hoshi, what about you?
That's interesting. You think he's being the dead? I
think everyone needs to chill out in this whole statement here.
Yeah, probably. I could see like maybe the incidents where he was probably, this Prince Equalizer was probably playing a control deck, I would imagine, and so he thought like his opponent was like, maybe he's holding up a counter spell, right? And so he would wait until the end step to cast like Growth Spiral or something like that, maybe, right? Where he would have tapped his mana. And so then the other guy was like, oh, he tapped his mana, so now I could safely play a creature or whatever, right? Like that's where I could see that would make a difference in this situation, maybe. That being said, if you say like, I'm done with my turn, then you've passed, like you're at end step, right? That's what I would think at there. I could see like being like a little miffed if he's like, oh wait, well then I'm gonna, after you did that, then I'm gonna cast a creature. But that's also something like a new player might do, So you can explain stuff to people without being an asshole. So I don't know.
Some people really can't, though. I don't think.
That's true. And so I don't know. This guy's making it seem like he's pretty like, oh, I was just trying to, who knows? He was probably like, oh, actually, I don't. It's hard to say because from his perspective, he's making it sound like I was just trying to teach this guy how the game works, and then he was like, "Go fuck yourself," or whatever. There can be people like that. You know what this does remind me of though is our old friend who shall not be named. With all of the like rules arguments that we got into him with before we really understood how the game worked pretty well. We got in some heated dude over like, you can't do that. No, look, here's the little magic book. We like pull out that stupid little magic book at the game with the starter sets, and we're like, see right there. I interpret it this way, and then he's like, I interpret it this way. Yeah, that's what this felt like to me.
Yeah, you two would get in the heated arguments. Man.
I remember that.
Get up. Like, all right, it's time to crack open a beer. This is going to take a while.
The funny thing looking back at it is like, we were probably both wrong.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It's a complicated game. It is a complicated. If you get into the little minutia of the way that in like tournament rules and all this stuff, it can get crazy, with how like deep you want to get into like all the stuff. That's why they have like levels of judges and all this shit in this game. I don't know. Yeah, this is pretty fun. Pretty funny though. I miss this. I miss arguing with people in an actual building over rules. Yeah. Do I miss that? I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Partially. No. Yeah. So yeah, that was the Reddit rant. I thought I as well thought this was like a pretty good one. It reminded me of a lot of things of just like Commander. I think with like us three, we kind of like have like a good way of like kind of like explaining rules like with each other. Like if it doesn't change the board state drastically, it's like, okay, well, you forgot to play that spell, whatever. But there's definitely other times like with huge like arguments. Definitely at tournaments, you get those grumpy nerds, dude, who are like, oh, you didn't do this properly, judge, and like So I thought it was been a good
the other
retro
thing
back
that I know that we've done before too is like if I have some spell or something weird that I'm doing, I'll be like, did you declare attackers or whatever, like I'll ask you like, hey, did you do this, and then they're like, oh yeah. So like this guy could have easily been cool and been like, hey, are you at your end step, that would have like solved this whole thing, but he's clearly he did not do that.
Probably more along the lines like you have to declare you're going into your end step, like
actually.
Yeah, exactly. Something like that. Like in a tournament, it makes sense, right? Because all that stuff, it's like you have to play by the rules.
That's different.
But like when you're playing Commander with a group of friends, it's not that serious unless you have money. Unless you have money on the table or something, like that would be the only exception, I guess. But even then, like maybe you shouldn't have this guy that doesn't even understand end step playing in a money game, right?
Nah. That's pretty good.
I'm ended what?
That's pretty good. I like it. Yeah, I like it.
All right, well, back to you.
Sweet, man. Oh, well, with that, then we'll just move into our draw phase. Let's draw. And so draw is our MTG news. Hosted by a man who I don't know has to buy his hats from a specialty outlet.
That's true. What is up, everyone? This is MTG news segment where we have absolutely no news for you. So instead, what we're going to do is we're going to go over the decks that we've been playing this week. And let's start it off with Apollo. What have you been playing?
I'm still on that Boomer Jund.
Oh, nice.
I'm really loving that deck. Really loving Liliana. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. I've been doing Merfolk, Simic Merfolk, which is a tribe that is not performing as well as I thought. But again, we'll go deeper into that later. And then I'm building this deck. Well, two decks, actually. I'm trying to build Gruul Monsters utilizing that new green creature card that we talked about last time. And Abzan midrange utilizing Restoration Angel and Siege Rhino trying to like do
Nice.
like a different form of Abzan Blink.
Nice.
So I'm still like building it, but it's a deck I want to play. I really want to use Tireless Tracker and Siege Runner together. So
Oh,
Nice.
That's awesome.
yeah.
Hoshi.
Hoshi, what about you?
So I've been playing all kinds of stuff, dude. I mean, immediately when the set came out, I was like, elves. I have to make elves. That is like the stupidest card that was in this set was that elf by far. And so, yeah. So I played elves immediately, and it's been fantastic. I just was destroying people with that deck. In Explore is what I've been mainly playing. And so then after that, I was playing some mono black because, Lily came out. So I was like, let's mess around with black and try some Black Devotion and some other stuff. That's been a lot of fun. And then I was screwing around with goblins. I basically looked at all the historic like top meta decks and was like, can I translate this into Explore? And so I've been messing around with that, and so I made a goblins deck, which I'm still tinkering with. It's got mixed results right now. It's fun though. And then I'm playing wizards right now, which I am definitely making a gameplay for that one. We made a couple gameplays this week, but yeah, I'm making a gameplay for wizards because it is explosive. I fucking love this deck right now. I'm a wizard, Harry.
Yeah. Wow.
I'm
All
a
right.
wizard, Harry.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah. What about you, Draken? What have you been playing?
Same thing. I've been playing a lot of different decks. I've been experimenting a lot. It's been really fun, really, because in pre-production, Apollo was saying that it's kind of the Wild West out there. Which I haven't really seen on the ladder, but definitely in play mode, it's fucking insane, dude. I feel like every time I go in play mode, I'm playing a different deck. And I generally don't go into play mode that often, but because I have been like trying so many wild fucking decks that I feel like it's a good place to start. And so like one that I've been playing a lot is I've been playing this Coco Graveyard Shell, which is I forget what the creature's name is, but I have the new Tarmogoyf in there that's based on your creatures and your graveyard. I'm running a Grizzly Salvage. I'm running that other green black that has the hybrid ones that's based on the creatures in your graveyard. It's a pretty fun deck. Like I've had mixed results with it because everything in the deck is a creature. It also self mills besides Collected Company, and it works well because what is that card from Eldraine that it's also a kill spell? Run that. So like it has spot removal, it has and everything's a creature. So it's been a lot of fun. I've had like mixed results though.
Murderous Rider.
Yeah, Murderous Rider. And then other things I've been playing is Golgari Elves in Explorer, which has actually been pretty successful for me. And then Goblins, Merfolk, humans, a lot of different tribes. I messed around with blue-red spells. And like, man, I've just been having a lot of fun. I've been playing just like anytime a new like exciting set comes out, I've been playing a lot of Magic recently. And the one thing I will say that I haven't been using a lot, I crafted it right away, is Liliana, but I just haven't really been messing around with her, which is shocking for me because I love that style of gameplay. But overall, I'm really happy with the set. It's fun. Magic has been great recently.
Yeah, I even did a draft. I've
been doing a lot of that too. Yeah.
Yeah, which we are not like draft pros, like that's for sure. I am admittedly bad at draft. I feel like, but I just rare snipe like crazy. But I will say I got 13 rares out of one draft that I did. I have like a standing. Like I said, I don't like watch all the like the draft rankings or whatever. So my draft ranking is if it's rare or mythic, I click on it and I take it. So that's how. And then I try and work out everything else. But I don't care. I'm just like, yeah, whatever. Like that Urza saga or whatever, the Planeswalker saga thing that came out in this one. Like there, I got like 3 of those in like one draft. Like everyone was like, oh, this is fucking useless in draft. I was like, yeah, I'll take it, whatever.
Nice.
13. I was like, it doesn't even matter how bad I do in this draft. I already won. You know, this draft was already worth it. Like, so it was great.
There's some really undraftable cards, right? Because tribes are so big in this. They're like, there's a lot of tribal centric cards, but there's not a lot of cards to accompany those tribal centric cards, right? So you'll see like turn 7 and there's still like a goblin a lord going around or an elf lord, and it's just because there's nothing to really accompany those cards.
Yeah, they're not going to do anything. If you're missing some of those tribal lords, hop into some draft. You might be able to pick them up there.
Yeah,
pretty easy if you got some draft tokens laying around. I know I did. So yeah, cool. Anything else for draw guys?
No.
Sweet. Let's move on to main phase 1.
Main phase 1.
All right, so main phase 1, here we are, main topic of the show, which is gonna be our predictions and kind of the meta game. So first off, last week, I think the first thing that we talked about was when we were evaluating the set. There's a lot of crazy powerful cards in this set from what we were looking at it, right? We were pretty hype. Everybody's hype at a new set. I asked, do we think this is a next level Eldraine? And what were our responses? I think it was pretty much like, maybe? This is
I think
strong.
Unanimously, it was like a yes.
Yeah, it's going to be strong. Okay, so what do we think now that the set has dropped and that it's leveled? Do we think it's still Eldraine? Drunken, what do you think? Do you think it's Eldraine level?
I actually don't. I think Eldraine was a pretty freaking powerful set, and although there are really good cards here, I don't think this is like a meta defining set because we do have like those tribal lords, which are great, right? Those are really strong cards, but I don't think that's doing anything to really affect the meta too much. Yeah. And the only and some of the cards that I thought were going to be stronger aren't as strong as I thought they are. And like unlike Eldraine, where there are a couple of cards that came out of there that not a lot of people were specking on that ended up just being complete bombs. We don't really have that in this set. Yeah. So I do think this is an incredibly powerful set and a fun set, but I don't think so.
Okay. Apollo, what do you think?
I'm gonna agree with Drunken Dork on this one because my take is like Eldraine completely changed the meta. Like the cards in there, like in themselves, completely defined how the meta was going to go forward, right? Like,
oh yeah,
you can name any one of the fucking cards, whether they're banned or not. You know, like they affected the meta directly. I think a lot of these cards, I think Dominaria is insanely powerful and one of the more powerful sets that we've seen in like in some recent months. But is it Eldraine level? I don't think so. But there is cards that I do think help define the meta. Like they're more like partners. They work with a strategy that's already kind of fortified, making it stronger. Like off the top of my head, like Liliana is really powerful. The new elf lord is really powerful.
Jesus.
The fucking goblin that we didn't ask for or needed is insane.
We needed
powerful.
it. Yeah, I asked for it.
Someone did. Yeah.
Like goblins are already the most powerful tribe, and now they're back again. So, but there's cards that like support like already existing strategies, and I think that's how sets should be. They should help support and not break a fucking format like Eldraine.
That's true. That's good. Yeah, I feel the same way. I feel like it's not Eldraine. Eldraine also had the whole like the adventure mechanic, which at first I was like, this is stupid. And then the set came out and was like, holy shit, this is a whole deck. This is a strong deck. That stupid clover and everything. So like this format there, this release doesn't have that. It doesn't have like it made a deck itself based off of like a mechanic that it has, really. Right. I think this is more like Strixhaven level powerful. Strixhaven was one of those sets where when it came out, I was like, yeah, there's some cool stuff with like the that extra little like add-on to the set that it came out with, right? But then I feel like Strixhaven was one of those ones that I didn't think was
Mystical Archive.
Yeah, exactly. And I Strixhaven turned out to be more powerful than I thought it was going to be, actually. And I think this is around that power level. Like I thought it was going to be stronger, but I think it's right around there. It's a strong set, but it's not Eldraine. I mean, sorry, go on.
No, you go. Sorry, I interrupted
I was just saying
you.
it had the 3-mana planeswalker. It was Liliana is not Oko.
No.
she's really powerful, but she's not Oko. And there's a lot of really good cards too. But yeah, it was interesting to see the predict. I was a little like skeptical to call it Eldraine. I feel like, but I mean, I was getting super hype on a lot of the cards. Yeah, I feel like it's hard not to. So yeah. So go on. Yeah.
So when you think about Eldraine, we had the duality of the adventure cards, right? Where you get 2 cards in one pretty much. But then also Cat Oven is from there, right?
Oh God, yeah.
And so when you think about it, so we had Oko, which was everyone was doing Oko shit, and like that was really powerful. But then Oko gets banned, and then everyone's doing Cat Oven shit because that's incredibly powerful. And like then now Cat Oven is nerfed in Historic, right? And Alchemy, or I don't even think it's in Alchemy anymore. But yeah, like it's just. The power level was just so high in that set. I think that's really hard to get towards. But yeah, that's a really good comparison. Like Mystical Archive coming out of Strixhaven, I think it's just closer to on par with that. Yeah. Absolutely.
A lot of stuff got banned out of that Mystical Archive too, though. Like Time Walk and all that stuff. They put some nutty stuff in that where it was like, this is not gonna stay in there. Yeah, we had Uro and all that other just insane stuff in Eldraine. Thank God it's not that set. I'm curious if there will be bans though, because there are bans from Eldraine for sure, and then there are bans from Strixhaven. So I wonder if there will be bans from this set. I don't think we're there yet to make predictions about that, but just curious. If anyone out there thinks that something is incoming ban, I would say maybe the Elf Lord. That thing is nuts. But next thing that about our predictions was, hey, we made some predictions last podcast about what we thought was going to be strong and drunken. What do you think about your predictions? Did they pan out? Did you shoot a little too high on anything, or?
So yeah, I mean, the freaking artifact guy, what's his name? The 2-mana 5/5. That's a vehicle that doesn't become a creature unless.
Oh yeah.
I forget what
the Weatherlight. Yeah,
Weatherlight. Yeah. I haven't really been seeing a lot of that. I have used it a little bit, but I don't think that's really like that powerful in comparison to some of the other cards. And like when we did our picks, not everything was spoiled yet, right? So I chose the Lord as my other one, the Goblin Lord, and I do think that card's really good. Like absolutely, when I run against goblins and I've run against that, it's like it does its shit. And when I've used it and played with it, it's incredible. Like the card, it runs like really strong. Had I seen Elf Lord, I would have, that obviously would have picked that, right? Or just lords in general, because I think those lords are pretty good, right? They didn't spoil any of them except for I think the goblin at that point and the cleric. And
no, they didn't have the cleric yet. We only had the goblin.
Okay, yeah, and I do think that card is definitely one of the better cards in this set. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so as well. Apollo, what about you? What do you feel about your picks?
I don't know how to say this without sounding cocky, but I think I was spot on. I think my predictions were pretty good. Again, like I want to say that like in no way, shape, or form have I ever said, or do I think Lily is like a broken planeswalker? She's an amazing planeswalker, and she fits in really well. I think it was really smart for them to bring her back, actually, because she doesn't like fuck up the meta in any way, shape, or form. She just adds to it, and I think that's really great. Like she doesn't. Well, Drunken doesn't agree.
I mean, when we talk about something later, I disagree with that. Yeah, but keep going.
She adds to Greasefang. She obviously, was able to like fortify Boomer Jund, Rakdos mid range, anything really with black that cares about that kind of thing. So, she's a very powerful planeswalker. She's not overpowered in like levels of like Teferi, where like people were complaining about it being 3 mana, 3 fairy, 4 fairy, get rid of fairy, all this like or Oko levels. right? And then the other card I picked was the Defiler or the green.
Yeah, all the defilers basically, but the green
Yeah,
one.
yeah. So the green one specifically, even though it's not being seen too much, you do see it in standard for sure. But I absolutely still think this thing is going to be a bomb in Pioneer and Historic. It just takes people to be brave and make their own decks instead of just net decking, if that makes sense, right? Because I still think this thing is going to be really powerful in mono green mid range, like big green, or even like a Gruul like mid range. But I don't know. I don't know how strong Gruul is in today's like current meta. I think Gruul is better like as an aggro deck, but regardless, I still think it's a good card, and I for sure think we're going to see it. More of it in the future.
Okay. Have you?
What about you?
Have you played with it yet?
Yeah. There's a question.
Any of the defilers? Yeah.
Yeah. The green one. That's the only one I care about.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I have seen it. It's like mostly I see it in play, and not on ranked.
Okay. People listen. Yeah.
I have been trying to make those defilers work in Historic and Explorer, and like I have made some fun decks with them. I actually made a white, red, blue defiler deck. Yeah. And I've made some fun stuff, but like, man, there's so the games that go really fast, they're really hard to use, right? Like against mono red and stuff. They're really like difficult to use against those decks because it's really hard to just start like losing life when you're already losing so much life. It's hard for me to imagine these cards are going to be like S tier, but I hope you're right. Yeah, the green one out of any of them, I think that one is probably the easiest one to get there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's definitely not questing beast like levels, like S tier, like that, like green card, where it instantly needs to be slot in if you're using green of any way, shape, or form. But I mean, I think it's like a really powerful green creature that we haven't really seen in a while. Again, I'm also coming from a world of best of 3, which is like it's a completely different monster than best of 1. Best of 1, I don't see. You're going low, you're going fast.
Yeah,
there's no point in playing like a dirtily strategy in best of 1. So again. Best of 3, I see this.
I don't know if that's true. I play dirtily strategies in best of 1 all the time. They work out.
Are you like massively successful with it though?
Sometimes, I don't know. It depends how you go about it, like, they're just totally different beasts, and how you have to like slot things in. You have to be used to building for it, like specifically for it. But I like the Defiler. I think it's cool, and I was pretty hype on them too. Actually, I was glad you picked them because I also was wrong about them, and I think all of us were in the way that the mana worked on it. I thought it just gave us carte blanche Phyrexian mana for any of the symbols, and that is not how it works. If you guys have played with them, it only works for one of the mana symbols. So if you had something that was 3 black, you can't play 6 life and just play it for free. You can only pay 1, and then you would still have to pay it for 2, like play 2 mana. And then, which when I looked at it, I was like, fuck yeah, this is just like, it's going to be, it was more, I thought it was more powerful than it was. So that sucked. When I played it the first time, I crafted like all of the black ones. And I was like, here we go. I'm going to fucking just drop all my black stuff. And then it was just like, no, you're not. You're going to drop 1, maybe 1, maybe 2 or something. Like the 1-drops, you can drop the 1-drops for free. That was about it. So yeah, that's cool. With mine then, I picked the I think it was like the third path or whatever, which was the Saga, which is another one that I thought was really strong until you guys were like, you didn't read the card right, you idiot. You can't cast it for free, which is always embarrassing to figure that out on the podcast. I was like, read well. It's still, I think it's a good card. I think that's another one that is going to take a little while until people figure out where it fits in. Phoenix, something like that. I've been messing around with it in the Wizards deck a little bit. I think like 1 or 2 maybe is the sweet spot for that card, not like a full thing of it. The read ahead is nice. That allows you to kind of get to where you need to go when you put it down. From the few times that I've actually drawn it, it's been pretty cool. I'm like, oh, okay, I need this right now, so you can actually play it out that way. So I like the read ahead mechanic. I think that part is really cool. I wonder if they're going to keep doing that in sagas. And then the other one that I picked was the beefy boy.
That's right.
Yeah, the beefy boy fucking Death and Taxes guy. And I haven't seen him. Yet. I haven't played with him yet, so I don't know how that's working out. But I haven't seen Death and Taxes rolling around. I don't know about you guys. Have you?
Yeah, I've been kind of playing. That's one of the decks, like my soldiers deck. I've messed around with like different variants of it.
Oh, that's cool.
And one of them, like I've used him in that deck because I actually drafted like 2 or 3 of them, and I opened one, so I have like I think a full play set of that card.
Okay.
And so like I do think that it is okay. I still like the other. I think I like the other guy ultimately better.
Yeah, the elite one. Yeah. They're different. Okay, cool. Yeah, so mine were wrong. Mine were wrong. But once again, the elf wasn't out and that kind of stuff at that point. So I mean, that would have been an obvious fucking pick.
Me and Hoshi would have been like, I would have been like, I'm going to choose the elf. You're like, no, I'm choosing the elf. Not
to put take the sail out of, or the wind out of your sails there, Apollo. But I think Liliana was also an obvious pick too, considering that she was a reprint. She wasn't a new card. She was something that was like a meta defining card.
Apollo's like, I'm gonna pat myself on the back for this. Nobody saw Liliana coming, but
no one saw Lily coming.
I mean, I did an incredible job picking that card.
I did so much research. I was like, man, this card that no one knows about is coming back.
I was right, guys. I was right.
No one's ever seen this card.
Okay, so that's what we thought, about the cards that came out. So I think, the Defilers really have something going for them. Obviously, the Lords are probably like one of the stronger things that came out of it. But what else? Was there anything, any other cards that you guys saw pop up that, like, we didn't see coming, or anything that, you've been like, oh, people are playing that now, and I didn't think that was going to be a played card. Did you guys find anything there?
It's kind of tough because like a lot of it's from standard, like a lot of like the big performers or the big hitters.
That's true.
Because like a lot of the stuff you guys are talking about, like the Enchantment Saga that you picked, that it actually is performing well in standard.
Okay.
There's some other cards that we picked from last week's episode as well, but obviously like the usual suspects, like of the elves that we talked about. But there's like an angel that's been doing well. I feel like this has to be standard unless you guys have seen this.
Is it the forecast one? The Sarah's
Sarah Paragon.
Yeah, Sarah Paragon is awesome. Yeah, I think we did mention that last week when we were picking cards. Like one of us wanted to pick that one. That card's awesome. Yeah, for sure.
I think it was definitely you. Maybe. I haven't really, honestly, I don't think there's anything that's particularly great that's come out of here that we didn't see like coming. I think more of the shocking thing here is like the cards that I think we're going to perform well just aren't like, I think cut down. So I completely read that card wrong. Total power and toughness 5.
Yeah. Meaning like that.
Yeah. All together. So you actually, when I used it, I remember when I first used it, I was like, wait, why can't I target this? It's got a fucking 3. It's got like 3 power, 3 toughness, like this should, but it's just because I was reading it wrong because I'm an idiot. Because I thought it was like one or the other. I didn't realize it was both. So I actually haven't been seeing that around too much. I do see it every once in a while. And then another one is the lands. Like I don't see a lot of those lands.
That's true.
And that's kind of shocking to me because those lands are pretty good, because they come in untapped and they can just give you either color at any point.
That's true.
I thought I'd be seeing just more of those.
If you're playing like a fast type deck where you need multicolor, it seems like they would make sense. Maybe people just haven't crafted enough of those yet. I don't know, but yeah, you're right. That's interesting. Apollo, anything that you didn't think like was gonna pop up, that did.
Yeah, so like the Painlands, I agree with Drunken on that one. I'm super surprised we have not been seeing those.
Okay.
But for myself, it's just because I'm fucking like landlocked with fucking rares, man. Like it's just
yeah,
a fucking struggle out there, dude.
That might be another reason we're not seeing a lot of like the new decks pop up yet. Is the wild card struggle is real, and the constant release of stuff is like starting to choke people out, I think, a little bit.
Yeah.
So I know I've been
but
struggling.
that cut down card. That card too, I was a fucking idiot. I was like yelling at my fucking computer, and I'm like, "Why won't you do what I want? Like, kill the creature." And then like, oh wait, 3 + 3 is 6.
You're like, it's a bug. Stupid arenas. Stupid bugs. That's great.
Yeah, just like fucking yelling at a screen like an idiot.
Good.
Like,
all right, now I feel bad because I understood that card immediately when I read it, but I missed that enchantment that I took to the show. So now I'm feeling a little better.
Yeah, you're like justice.
Like, not such an idiot. I mean, I still am, but at least I'm not the only idiot, at least. Okay, that's good.
That's always been a fact.
Yeah.
I do still think the card's good, though, at least for sideboard.
Mm-hmm.
Drunken, you had
something? What was it? Oh, if you want those lands, Apollo, and you have any draft tokens, I've also seen those lands go as late as like turn 7 or something. Because people are more prone to pick like the basic dual lands in draft because they work a lot better than those than the pain lands.
Yeah, I got like 5 of them in that one draft.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, you can get them pretty easily.
Oh, dude. Yeah, I'm going to be fucking rare sniping for sure then. I don't know.
There was one sleeper that I didn't see that I am very happy about right now. That is in my Wizards deck, which is Balmar or whatever. He is the battle mage, the bird wizard battle mage, and he is fucking awesome.
He's pretty cool.
He's a 2-drop, uncommon, so easy to craft. He is red and blue, and he's a 1/3. And whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, he buffs all of your creatures +1/+0 and gives them trample until the end of turn. So him combined with Adeliz for your wizards, it's awesome. So I love that card. I'm really glad that one came out. And that was one that I did not, when I read it the first time, I was like, oh, okay, this seems okay. And then I looked at it again the second time when I saw Wizard deck list come out and was like, oh, never mind. This card's fucking great. So I'm super happy about Balmar. But that was like one of the ones that I didn't see. So I don't know.
Yeah.
What about Shieldred? What do you guys think about Shieldred?
Yes, that is another one that has popped up with a couple combos that have come out. Have you seen the Witch's Mastery Shieldred combo?
No,
I've only heard about it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't. I've only heard about it too. But I can't remember exactly what happens with Lich's Mastery. But it's like you deal like whenever damage is dealt to you, I believe like you draw a card, and then when you draw a card you gain life, so you can draw like basically your entire deck with it, which is what I imagine. There's another one which is Peer into the Abyss with Shieldred, which would kill your opponent because it would cause them to draw half their deck, and they would take 2 damage for every card that they draw, so that would kill them.
It's a lot of mana.
Yeah, I did see another combo as well, which was with the what is her name? Dahlia or something. She's the 5-drop knight, white knight that comes into play. And whenever she enters the battlefield, you can attach a aura or vehicle or whatever to her from your hand or from the graveyard. So if you play Kaya's what is it, Kaya's ghost form with her. Whenever she dies or gets put into exile or whatever, as long as Kaya's ghost form is in the graveyard, when she comes back into the battlefield, it automatically puts Kaya's ghost form back onto her. So she's basically like, unless you have a way of like getting rid of Kaya's ghost form, she's like immortal. So that was a pretty cool combo that I saw too come out. But yeah, Shieldred had a couple things going on with Shieldred, which was pretty sweet. I definitely died to a Shieldred like combo deck at one point.
I haven't died to a Shieldred combo, but I've definitely been seeing Shieldred around a lot. And and that blue-red dude is, the crazy thing about that guy is that Wizards was already at the very top of the meta before the set came out.
Yes.
And so now this is just another piece, because it's basically doing what that deck is. It adds to what that deck was already doing.
I haven't been playing Historic, but that's exactly where I ran into him, was when I was looking at the, taking the Historic to Explorer decks. And so that makes sense. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, he's going to be insane in that deck. That's crazy.
Yeah, I've ran against it a couple times. Yeah, that deck is already good, and like it just makes it that much better. Yeah.
The Symmetry Mage is not good in Explorer. It's a 0/2, and then it gives them +2 power. It's funny how that just like one little, that one amount of toughness and power that it gives, just makes it like basically unplayable in Explorer. So that's weird to see, like they're like, alterations that they did with the alchemy cards, where that's one of the ones that really like shine through, because they've altered a fuckload of cards in alchemy, and most of them did nothing. Like you didn't see any of those cards that they altered. I think that's one of the only ones where they were like, they gave it a little boost and was like, oh shit, this thing's broken. This thing is really good now. Cool. All right, so what about new decks? Have you guys seen any new decks pop up from this set that did not exist before Dominaria? Paulo, you see anything? Oh no, if you got one, Drunken.
No, go, Paulo, go.
No, take it, because I want to like gather my thoughts on this one for
okay. So I've been seeing a ton of new decks, but I haven't seen any that have like really taken over the meta. What I was gonna say what has affected the meta, which I was alluding to earlier, was I do think Liliana. I've been seeing her run rampant. Like I'm constantly seeing her on the ladder, or I'm seeing her in play mode, and really what she has done to the meta to me is, because I play auras a lot, is she's really fucked with auras bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think this is like kind of detrimental to that deck. It's not unplayable, because I still been playing auras a lot. But like, if you can get Liliana out early and you only have one dude out, which is pretty common with auras, it can ruin that deck, and and that is really the biggest meta shift I have seen. Is it's just like it's taken auras down a peg or two, and auras was a S tier deck for sure. And I still think it probably is, because it's really just this one card that's fucking it up. It's just that because Liliana's new to the meta, everyone's playing with her right now. So it's just like, I think you need to put auras on the back burner for now until the meta like really stabilizes, and then you could probably start playing auras again.
That's a good observation. Yeah, I like that. Liliana is also spectacular against control decks as well, because I played a mono black devotion deck that I made a video about this last week, and every time I play that deck and I've gone against like Azorius control, I've fucking destroyed them. Nice. Because they just like, you hit their hands, and like Azorius needs cards in their hands. So if you start hitting them early and Lily comes down turn 3, you're hitting them with Thoughtseize and that kind of shit. They like have a real hard time recovering from that. So she's really good against control as well. Apollo, any new decks that you seen popping up?
So for best of 3, I think like what I was kind of saying earlier, it just kind of strengthens and fortifies certain strategies that already exist. I didn't even think about the auras thing. That sucks. Like how Lily like completely can almost X out an entire deck. That's a fair point.
and it's a pretty budget deck too, which sucks when you see budget decks.
That is unfortunate for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I just have like, horse goggles, like for Lily. I'm just like, oh, as soon as the second she came out and the stupid little like,
yeah, you did.
Let me show you how to do mastery. I'm like, get out of here. I'm just gonna fucking craft Lily right away. So, but yeah, so with the meta in best of 3, it's been out. It's still relatively new. I don't think Dominaria strengthened it in any way, but the Maze's End deck, that's like fortified now as like being part of the fucking meta game in
really.
3.
Yeah, I see
it's a really powerful deck.
I see it in best of 1 a lot now too, actually.
Yeah.
The only thing I can think of is like Tireless Tracker was not even from that. So yeah, there's nothing really from Dominaria that I can think of off the top of my head other than like what's it called? Merfolk. But I just think that's just like the worst tribal, right? Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So Merfolk was one of those ones where we thought was going to be really good, right? Because that Lord seemed like it was going to be on fire, man. Like, and you've been playing with it, and you're saying it's not, then.
Yeah, it just every time I go against elves or goblins, they're doing. All 3 of us are trying to do the same thing. They do it better.
Yep.
They're literally on mindless mode. I just dump my entire hand and then I just turn my card sideways and I'm doing it better, faster, stronger than you are.
Yeah.
Like Merfolk, if I don't get those hands, then I have to go into like that pseudo tempo kind of way of playing. And Merfolk just doesn't have the tempo cards that like actual tempo would have. So at that point, just play tempo. Like Spirit Tempo or whatever. So it's trying to like attack on different angles and it doesn't do either particularly well. Like, I mean, I still got a gameplay for it. I'm still going to showcase it to everyone because a lot of people have been asking for Merfolk. But
I think
you see it
against control, maybe, right? Where like against matchups, you're just going to get goblins.
Yeah, you're just going to get hosed. Like, I mean,
just outpace you.
Yeah. Like the Lord is good. Like having a Lord, but its ability isn't really that good either, because a lot of time they can pay for the one. Like in very early mid game to late game, the card is literally just a +1/+1. It's weaker than Mistbinder. Like,
yeah, that's true.
So,
I think like I just think tempo doesn't fare well in historic either. Generally, I think it, especially in best of 1, it's just one of the weaker archetypes of gameplay you can do right now because like go wide tempo does literally nothing, almost nothing in go wide strategies, and then also. Yeah, I don't know. It's just a tough deck to play. I get it. Yeah, because I was trying it real hard. I really like the idea of Merfolk, but unfortunately, when you just comparatively to the other 2, it's also, like nothing.
Also, Supreme Verdict is out now too in our formats.
Yeah.
So, so the Merfolk doesn't work against that.
Yeah, that's true.
Counterable. So that sucks. Oh well, that's unfortunate. Let's see. Anything else that really is like disrupted the meta or anything that you guys can see that came out? I mean, Lily clearly has had an effect on the meta, I feel like, and then the elf and the goblin has. But other than that, like anything else that you guys can see that's affected it or that is coming up.
Like for all the listeners out there, like I don't want to like don't get down into the dumps. Like, man, the fucking mana dork said it's just the same old shit. If you look at the fucking meta, it's like insanely huge still. Like when I say it's the Wild West, it still is. Like there's Azorius artifacts. There's Jund midrange, Selesnya, Azorius control mono red. Maze's End, Rakdos is still in the mix, all the tribal strategies. There's a shit ton of fucking decks and they can all perform well.
Yeah.
And I've said this before on the cast. It's up to people out there to make their dreams happen, right? Like, like if you want to see a deck do well, you got to use it. If you're just net decking all the time, then of course you're going to see the same old flavors.
Yeah.
So
one that I've been trying real hard to make work, but has been incredibly unsuccessful in historic, is mono white control. I've been messing with this a lot and like tinkering. Yeah. Now with that new Phyrexian dude, like being able to pay white, with the second sun. That's the win condition on that deck, and
Nice.
and oh boy, is it a pile of garbage!
That's a hard
and I have
sell.
just
Yeah.
it's not great. I've been
running
trying
9 lives Solemnity combo.
Of course, you got to,
Okay.
right? Like,
All right.
yeah.
Good man.
You need to run that combo. But it's funny. Like, I feel like every time I've probably maybe played like 7 games with this deck, and I've won maybe 1, and so like every time I have played this deck, it's like I'm playing against possibly the worst deck I could play against while I'm using it. It's like I'll be playing against elves, and they'll be running whatchamacallit that destroys enchantments or something. I'm like, okay, well, I just lost automatically, or because like they'll just destroy my solemnity, and then all of a sudden I got 9 lives with 9 counters on it, and I'm done, right? And so it's just been stuff like that. But yeah, man. I don't know where I was going with this. I just really want that deck to work. It seems like I love Second Sun. I think that card is so cool. I enjoy winning with it. It's just mono white it's hard to get.
It's a grind for sure.
Yeah.
I think that's a good kind of segue to like a final thoughts too. I like Apollo's final thoughts of just like, hey, a new set comes out, you gotta really jump in there and just start messing around with stuff to see like, what's gonna work. You want to make something work, like it takes a while. Sometimes like decks are fleshed out. Sometimes it never works, but it's good to have those decks built out, and then whenever a new card comes out, you might be like, hey dude, like I have this white deck that this is gonna work fucking perfect in, that I've been trying to make work for a while. Don't throw it away forever. It might be on the back burner. The other thing that this like whole talk that we've just had right now has really emphasized for me is that even though we have been playing Magic for like a combined over 60 years, right? And we play Magic all the fucking time, and we have a podcast where we talk about Magic, and we look at all these cards, and we listen to other people too, and we think about all this stuff. We are still fucking wrong a lot of the time when stuff comes out, when a new set is coming out. So if you don't think that you are smarter than us when when cards are coming out, which is, I mean, that's not saying a lot, right? But if you think that you don't know as much as we do, then maybe it's not the best idea to jump in and start building stuff counter to what Apollo said, if you don't have the wilds to do that. If you are low on wilds, wait for a while to use whatever is tried and true, and then maybe wait, which just that sucks, because like we've all been saying, this is the funnest time to jump in and start screwing around with stuff. But if you don't have the wilds, man, like how many of us have built decks that we were like, this is gonna be fire?
Oh dude, I still do. I do that all the time. Yeah, I still do it constantly.
Me too, man. Me too.
Yeah.
Dude, how many
it's really hard.
Go ahead.
It's really hard. It's really hard to know, because the meta is changing, and like just like you were saying, so one card like Lily can just fucking destroy an aura deck, like that being popular in the meta. So it's hard to see. So if you're low on rares and you're cautious about crafting stuff, maybe wait a little bit, maybe wait a couple weeks until we start seeing how the meta is kind of sold out, and then maybe you'll see the cards that are safe to craft if you're more along those like, I like to save my wild cards type of person. Apollo, you look like you got something you want to say here.
Well, first I just want to I was the big brain. I knew Lily was going to be good. So
Okay.
You're the only
yeah,
one.
I
Yes.
poured hours of research into finding.
Yeah,
this
you did.
card.
Yeah, I believe that.
You got the Charlie Day strings
Yeah,
on the
Charlie
wall.
Day with the strings and the fucking conspiracy theories. This card is good. It's been proven, No, I wanted to say that how many times like in post when like we'll keep drinking and play Brawl, and then I'll be like, I got a fucking deck for you.
Oh my god, yeah, you are one smart man.
Dude,
Yeah.
I have so many rares burned, and they're only used for Brawl, and I never fucking play those decks. Like they're just.
Yeah, this is along the lines of how the conversation goes. You get hammered, and you're like, "Hey guys, should I pull the trigger and spend $100 and so I can craft this awful deck?" And me and Hoshi are both like, "Yes, you should." Yeah, absolutely. That sounds like an incredible idea. You will never regret it. Never.
This brings up a good point. We actually did a full podcast on how to actually spend your wild cards, like when you're making new decks and all that kind of stuff. And we went pretty in depth. I think we did like a lot of research and stuff, and that was a good one. So I don't remember what number it is, but
no,
we'll maybe throw it in there, or editor. Hopefully,
yeah, I'll go ahead and link it.
Okay.
It'll be popped up if you're watching.
Do a little bing or whatever.
Yeah.
Nice, man. All right, you guys got anything else for main phase 1 for
Nope.
our meta and all this stuff? No? Okay. Awesome. Well, with that then, let's go into our combat phase.
Dorkish Combat!
And Combat is our horseshit card game, hosted by Drunken Dork.
What is up, everyone? Drunken Dork here with the Horseshit Card Game, which I have been doing consistently the same every week for the past like 4 episodes or whatever. So this week I'm gonna keep it going, and we're gonna do the 20 questions where I already have this card. It's right in front of me, and it's up to these two drunken idiots to ask a series of questions where I answer yes or no until they ultimately get the card. And you have 20. So start it off. You two choose amongst yourselves. Oh, by the way, this card it's on Arena.
Okay. All right, Apollo, you go first.
That is the thing that I do here. It's going to be a card on Arena.
Okay.
Is it a rare?
No.
Is it a creature?
No.
Is it a planeswalker?
No.
Is it an instant?
Yes.
Is it blue?
Yes.
Oh, okay. No, Bithwin just sent me like he said something last week where he was like, "This is a better way of doing this," and I was like, "Yes, he's right," and I totally forgot what he suggested.
I remember reading that. I was like, yeah, that is a good suggestion.
He's so much smarter than we are.
Yeah, that's true. That doesn't take much though.
Yeah, that's facts.
Okay.
We have like the combined intelligence of like a 9-year-old.
Yeah, basically education at least.
So it's a so it's a blue instance so far, and it's on Arena, I think, right? Okay.
And it's not a rare.
It's not a rare. Okay.
So it still could be mythic, common, or uncommon.
Maybe sets we should look at. Let's see. Is it in standard?
Yes.
Ooh. Okay.
I went significantly easier this time.
That narrows it down quite a bit. Okay. Paulo.
Does it have any other colors in its color identity?
No.
All right, so it's just straight blue.
Okay.
Oh, by the way, I didn't explain this before. If they have 20 questions, but the goal is to get it before 10. You're on number 8 right now.
Oh man, this is tough. Okay, so it's a blue instant. So I think we go for mana next. Maybe narrow it down that way. All right, is it below? Is it 2 mana or below?
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's good. It's not Thought Deluge. Okay.
So does that mean it can't be 3?
Yeah,
No, 2 or below.
It's 2 or below.
It's 2 or below. Okay.
I'm hoping it's spell pierce, or like I don't know.
Well, there's the.
I don't think
what's it
Opt is in
called?
standard anymore.
Let's see. What can we
I
ask
think
here?
I think consider is also in right now, which is 2 and below. There's a lot that are 2 and
Does
below.
it does it counter target spell?
Yes.
Oh,
All right, so we know it's a counter.
Okay, pretty good. Okay, so it's 2 or below, and it's counter target spell. Man, I like just one. Is it 1 mana?
Yes. So that's 10. So
Man, it sounds like
no gold star. No gold star for you.
It sounds like spell pierce, dude. It
It
does.
smells like some spell pierce.
Okay, wait. It came out in Kamigawa, so we already lost the gold star. So you could.
Yeah, no gold star for you, but
Yeah.
keep going.
All right, spell pierce was reprinted in Kamigawa.
Did it come out in Kamigawa?
Yes. That's 11.
Is it spell pierce?
Yeah, you guys got it. Nice. In 12 questions, not bad. No gold star for you, but still, a little bit better than last week. That's for
A
sure.
little bit. Yeah, we failed last week. So.
Yeah.
it's a lot
I
better.
still don't remember. What was it? Court homunculus or something?
Yeah. Court homunculus. Yeah.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
So it came out in Kamigawa. It came out in Ixalan, Amonkhet. Let's see.
Oh, wow, it's an homage.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it came out in quite a few different sets.
Yeah. It's a good card.
But yeah, you guys got it.
Nice.
Good job.
Yeah, good job, man.
So I hope everyone else out there got this too, and you probably yelling at these two guys like, "What the hell, man? I would have got that in like 3." You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, probably. It's tough, man. I mean, there's a, okay, wait. No, let's fall back on our excuse. I've been drinking a lot, so that's
Okay.
why. Yeah.
All right, that's fair. Yeah, and you're already lacking brain cells, so that
Yeah.
That's tough.
But mainly it's yeah, there we go.
Yeah. Okay.
my excuse for life. I've been drinking, so all right. Well, I hope you guys got it too, and I hope we redeemed ourselves from last week. Holy shit, that was embarrassing. So with that, we'll move on to main phase 2.
Main phase 2.
Main phase 2 is our drunken memoirs. So we've just kind of had this thing where we talk about our past with Magic, so you guys could get to know us better, and like, why you should ever consider anything that we say about Magic legit. Like, have we actually been playing this game for a long time, or what our backgrounds are. So we talked, Apollo, I think yours was the last one that you talked about. Drunken. Why don't we take it away with you? Like, from the start, where was your first contact with Magic?
So I first played around 3rd edition, I believe. So this was like the early 90s. I think it was actually before that. My older brother, whatever my older brother did, I was like, oh, I'm going to do that shit because my older brother's cool as hell. He's like,
cool.
Yeah, he's like 6 years older than me. He knows literally everything in the universe,
Yeah.
So if he says Magic the Gathering's cool, then it's got to be cool. And it turns out back then that Magic the Gathering is very cool, but a lot of people didn't think so. And anyway, so I got into it back then, and I remember loving it, honestly, because of the art more than anything else. And it was just like something I could do with my older brother, right? Like, he showed me how to play. And the way we used to play is we had the starter deck, which came in a cardboard box with a little tiny, thing. And we had like duels and stuff. And we had all these crazy cards that I still have some of them. I don't have all of them. I don't know. He probably kept them. Probably has a box somewhere with like a Moxes and stuff in it.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, the way we played is we shared a deck, and we would just pull off the top, and it was Wooburg, So we would have these, we would draw our 7 cards, and then we'd have these unplayable cards for the entire game. I just remember like the bombs in the deck for me were like Gaia's, I forget, he was a green dude, and his power is based on the lands that you control. Or Sanguine Vampire was another one I loved, or Lightning Bolt, like stuff like that. I like the terrible cards because I was just a dumb little John or Timmy, right? I just want the big, cool, like Shivan Dragons and like stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So that was really my introduction to the game, and that's when I started. And I always remember, like, I did really enjoy it. I used to constantly, like, we'd get home from school because we'd walk home together, and I'd be like, all right, John, let's go play some Magic. And like, eventually just got sick of me. He's like, dude, you suck. And you just want to play, you just want to look at Shivan Dragon and stuff. So, I had a couple of guys that I went to elementary school that I play with occasionally if I could convince them, but it wasn't really that popular amongst my friends. And it wasn't really until I think I got into high school where I started where I met these guys, and we started talking about, I was like, hey, you guys ever heard of a game called Magic the Gathering? And they're like, oh, I mean, maybe, like, it's for nerds though.
I mean, it looked like super cool, man, but
yeah. And well, it turns out that they also played. So that really sparked up our interest again. And I think we all started getting into it. And we've mentioned it before. We mentioned it earlier in the show, just completely did not know the rules. We still had a little book. Internet was still pretty young. And so we were playing all wrong. At that point, we started playing again. We had a much larger collection because I think we all had jobs at that point. Even though we were in high school and we were making at the time like $5.25 an hour.
The cards were significantly cheaper to buy back.
They were,
too.
yeah, they absolutely were, yeah.
Easier.
So at that time, we understood that it was like 60 card decks, that there were 4, you could have a maximum of 4 of each, but we still weren't great deck builders, I don't think, by any means. We had these janky ass decks doing wild stuff, and it was more about like, playing cards that were like still big creatures, I think, most of the time, or big spells. Like we were really still doing the Timmy thing for sure. And I remember tapping Birds of Paradise and putting a whole forest on the battlefield. I'd be like, you tap the bird, and you just get a land. You get a man. Yeah, you get a whole ass land. And just being completely wrong about how you play it. And we played for a couple of years, and it was a blast. And it was, I think, eventually what the straw that broke the camel's back was just like one last argument between everyone. We were just so hyper focused on game rules, even though none of us knew what the hell we were talking about, that we were like, okay, this game is toxic. We're going to stop playing again for a little bit. And then come Innistrad came out, and we all started getting into it. And really, I think the internet was old enough, and YouTube was already established that, if there were any rule disagreements, well, one, we had a shop we could call, and they would just be like, oh yeah, well, there was like a level, whatever the lowest level judge that worked there, be like, no, it works like this or this, so we had a way to understand the way the ruling works. And that's really where I think our true love of the game came, even though it had already always been there, or at least I could say for myself. That's when I had the established rule set, is really where I started enjoying the game immensely. And that's when I got into tournaments, and I've actually got top 3 in a big TCG tournament, where I got pro points. I've played on MTG Arena qualifiers, and I've gotten qualifier points on that. And that has really been the history of Magic for me. And now we have this podcast.
Yeah. Which is the most significant thing you've definitely done for sure.
Yeah.
This is where it's all culminated to, so that you can, just Hold up the pedestal. Yeah, dude. That's awesome. And that was good. Yeah, that was a way more concise summary than I thought any of us were capable of doing. So, yeah, good job.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
I like it. Yeah. So with that was great. You got your whole thing in there. Fucking A. I thought it was just going to be like the beginning for you. So with that, then, I think that was good for just you on this one. And we'll move into our end step at this point.
End step.
And our end step is going to be our is it comments, questions, and corrections or concerns or
whatever you want it to be.
What are, like, yeah, do we not have a soundbite for this thing yet? No,
Not yet.
Comments, questions, and concerns.
All right, there you go.
One day I'll do my job as
Okay.
audio.
Audio boy or audio boy.
Yeah, yeah.
All right, so
So comments,
what do we got?
questions, concerns, whatever. There's a
Mailbox.
couple things.
There are.
Yeah, there's a couple things going on here.
Yeah.
What you got? Some?
Oh, I was gonna say I've restrained myself from clicking on it because where we're pulling these from is our Discord channel. Our Discord channel has a comments, questions, and concerns channel in there. So if you want to leave us a comment, question, concern, or whatever that we'll read on the
Correction,
podcast, or correction or whatever, you got to join our Discord to throw it in there, right? Or email us or whatever. Yeah, and so that's where we're pulling out of, and it's a channel that we don't click on throughout the week.
Well, Apollo does. He cheats often because
Well,
we'll go in there and he'll like respond to people, and I'm like every week I'm like, hey Apollo, you're not supposed to be clicking on that.
Like a lot of times, even
the
though
booze,
like Drunken yells at me like a fucking disappointed like fucking dad,
Yeah, that's me.
like I'll get these like tags, I'll get like notifications, and it's like, fucking Jacavio says something. I'm like, oh, Jacavio, fuck yeah, what are you saying? And it's like under comments, questions, and fucking corrections. And I get this like sense of dread, like I fucking, I did something wrong. Drunken's going to yell at me. Like,
Yeah, you did do something wrong. Yeah,
Good.
I'm yelling at you right now.
Good.
yeah, see, like it's stupid that like my mother, father, and now Drunken Dork give me that like sense of fucking like, oh no, I've been a bad boy.
Yeah.
See,
Clicked
this
on
is
the
the problem
Discord.
is that you're doing something wrong, and yet
Yeah.
you do it anyway. That's why I'm disappointed in you, at least.
Well,
good.
I'm hanging out the Zoomers, man. I'm embracing my rebellious stage again.
Oh my
My
god,
fucking
dude.
late
no.
30s.
You're 40. Yeah.
Oh, no.
Get over it.
Yeah. About to be fucking 40 years old. I'm like, I'm a fucking punk rocker.
You're yellow hashtag dead ass or whatever.
What's up,
All right,
fellow cool kids?
yeah. It's like that fucking meme with what's his name? What's that fucking actor where he dresses up like a skateboard guy?
I can't think of his name.
Yeah, I
He's
can't
from
think of it.
fucking Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll see it on screen. I'll pop it up right now. But yeah, so fucking comments, questions, whatever, things that we're doing wrong, things that our Discord has been saying. Since the episodes are bi-weekly now, would it be nice to have a quick meta snapshot update? Chicavio, you are completely correct, sir. This week we did do a little bit of a meta snapshot showcase.
Kind of, yeah.
I think going forward, though, this is something that all three of us have talked about with the future of the channel. I think we do want to like put up some more videos. We're already doing that with like content. Drunken has some really great reviews and about spell slingers and a how-to beginner's guide if you just want to enter Magic. But I think like going forward, you're going to see a lot more videos like that. I think it would be fine if any one of us were to just post a short little video about like metagame or something that's going on in the news instead of like, waiting 2 weeks to watch the pod. So yeah, that's a fair point, and I think we're going to touch into that. Yeah. Let's see. We got... I'm not sure how am I reading this right. Like, is this like a conversation they're having?
Yeah, I think it's just a conversation. So that's really about all we have, I think, right? Isn't gonna
They're just talking
think
about
so.
that. Okay. Nice.
So yeah, pretty much, yeah. Other than that, it's just like conversations that they're having, which you could be having if you joined our Discord.
Yeah,
but
great community.
yes, we are going to address a lot of I wouldn't say issues, but like going forward with the channel, right? We're going to add a lot more stuff. There's a shit ton more gameplays. Hoshi's got like a comedy sketch series that he's going to be working on.
Working
I got
on it slowly, yeah. It's coming.
Yeah, I mean, I am too. There's a lot of research like going into my thing. I'm doing like a history retrospective, if you're into that kind of stuff, about, you know, the entire history of Magic and why they hate white. And
stupid soldier.
And then with that,
man, that soldier one, dude. We were talking about the lords and the soldier and the cleric one. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like the goblin, right? Okay, when you guys saw the black. So we saw the goblin, we saw the elf, we saw the merfolk one, and then the last two ones were the white one and the fucking black one. The black one, what did you guys think it was gonna be?
Zombies, yeah, I was hoping. So
there is zombies, zombies.
There is a zombie lord though. You did see it, right?
Yeah, it's the vigilance one, right?
Yeah, there's a vigilance zombie lord.
What mana cost is it?
It's 4. It's 2 white black.
No, I wanted a 2-drop one, dude. I wanted
I know.
A 2-drop one, or a vampire lord would have been cool too. That's also black, you know. And then the white one, soldier's kind of cool. Soldier.
I've been using it. It's fun.
Soldier's cool. Yeah, that one's okay. The second part of it sucks though. Whatever. Its second ability is fucking garbage compared to the elf one. The elf one is like. What? Okay.
All right, you're hammered and ranting. Let's move on.
All right. Yeah. All right, discard. We're going to cleanup. Yeah, I got all passionate about. We talked about the zombie lord, and I got upset. Okay.
And this is Minarant, where Hoshi rants.
Where I'm like, God damn it! All right. Anyways. Cleanup is our social media promo stage. Take it away, Apollo.
All right, cleanup on screen right now. You're going to start seeing some stuff for YouTube. Join that, subscribe, click the bell notification. It helps some bros out. Check out our many gameplay videos, which you also see on the bottom of the screen here. We got how-to guides, like I mentioned before, introduction to spell slingers, and more to follow, more to come. Join the Discord. You want to be in a great community? Join our Discord. It's a bunch of really great, cool people. We all talk about magic, shit on WotC, share memes, stuff of that nature.
Funny that.
And they're all insanely smarter than us. So if you want to, join a big brain community, I can't even speak words. Join our community.
Yeah, we're also
it'll be much
there.
appreciated.
The non-big
brains. Yeah, we're also there. Yeah. We exist. Social medias, if that's your kind of thing, we'll also post some stuff out you'll see on screen for socials. And then other than that, if you want to take us on the go, you don't want to see our ugly faces, you can get us anywhere you can get a podcast, literally anywhere. If you are listening to us on the road and you want to see how ugly we are, again, go to that fucking YouTube. I don't know why you would, but you can go to that YouTube.
That's true.
We have other effects and stuff too to distract you from our faces.
That's true. Yeah.
So we put up cards and all that other kind of stuff too. So that's nice as well. Yeah. All right. Well said, man.
Other than that, that's it.
Move on to our discard phase for the real times. For realsy this time, we're going to discard.
There we go.
Discard phase. Drink 'em up, boy.
And you did it.
Discard is our last phase, where we pound the drinks and say goodbye to you guys. Paulo, final goodbyes.
Peace out, everyone. Love you all. Thanks for tuning in the channel. If you've made it this far, I'm surprised. I'm not even conscious. But yeah, cheers to you all. Appreciate it. Love the love. We've been getting a lot of love, so we're all thankful for that.
Great. Drunken.
Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. See you next time.
Hell yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for tuning in again. Yeah. Great episode. Great viewers. We love you guys. And we'll see you again right back here on the Manor Podcast. Cheers, everybody.
Peace.
Oh yeah, that strong non-alcoholic beer, man.
I keep forgetting that you're not drinking an alcoholic beer. That's why you're semi-coherent this time.
I realize how much y'all are ranting by how sober I am. Especially you, Hoshi. You're on a whole nother level right now.
I've been drinking the gasoline. I've been drinking Excellent. Yeah. That's maybe you're like our designated mana ranter, you know? Like
No, you are definitely the designated mana ranter right now, for sure.
I'm the designated ranter. You're the designated like podcast driver, I guess.
Okay, yeah.
You know, keeping us in
And then
line.
Apollo is the designated phone texter. My God, what are you doing over there, Apollo?
Dude, I gotta.
Don't worry, guys. We're doing a podcast here, and I'm gonna be
Okay,
texting
I
on my
have-
phone.
It's alright, I got some booty calls.
You know, there's a lot of mistakes that are on fucking Hoshi's end, so I gotta write the fucking timestamps for all these
Oh
edits.
yeah, nice. Dude, you totally edit out my smegma comments on last
Dude, that was
episode.
fucking gross, dude.
What? I was like, I almost never listen to the podcast, and I was listening to it. I'm like, wait, where's the schmegma? There's no schmegma here.
That's what you
You know
were
how
listening
fucking-
for.
Dude, fucking rewinding constantly, listen like blah 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 schmeck blah blah blah. I was like, God, this is fucking gross, dude. Like, dude, my fucking wife was like playing Final Fantasy behind me, and she's like, "What the fuck is he talking about?" I was like, "Fucking big cheese."
Oh man, there's never enough schmegma conversation. Just to let you know, all right?
Oh yeah, on
Dude,
the
that was-
last one, dude, you were going savage, bro. You were on the film talk, dude. You were,
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was good.
There's so much shit about dicks and.
I respect your edits on the last.